There's nothing like biting into a fresh, crisp apple. Problem is, you get distracted between bites, take too long, and you look up and the thing's gone brown. Why does it do that? When you bite into an apple, you'll be breaking open a bunch of the cells inside it, and this allows an enzyme, polyphenol oxidase if you're interested, to set to work. And what that does is combine oxygen from the air with naturally occurring chemicals in the apple to build up these large brown polymers. This process, called enzymatic browning, is actually thought to be part of the plant's defense mechanism, which protect the apple from bacteria and fungus once its skin has gone. That all seems very reasonable, but my bitten into apple is going brown in about 15 minutes. Yet these supermarket packaged cut apples look pristine white even after days on the shelf. How do you stop an apple going brown? One way to disable the apple's enzymes is using vitamin C, also known as ascorbic acid. The acid robs the enzymes of the oxygen they need to turn the fruit brown. Topping up the solution with this lemon juice also stifles the enzymes, which are much less active at high acidity levels. To put this to the test, all I need now are 2 half-eaten apples. And to give one a good dunking. Okay, 2 fairly similar looking apples now. Let's see how they look in an hour's time. Over the course of 50 minutes, the enzymes in the untreated apple build up a good covering of the brown pigment. It isn't actually harmful to eat, but just doesn't look that appetising. But with our lovely white apple, even though it hasn't turned brown, it is still open to bacterial attack, rot and decay. The flesh is exposed. To keep it lasting in this lovely condition longer, we're going to have to change the very atmosphere it's sat in. The food industry use 3 main gases for modified atmosphere packaging: oxygen, nitrogen and carbon dioxide. To preserve cut fruit, it's a delicate balance to get the combination just right. The main bulk of the gas in these packages is nitrogen. It's chosen because it's relatively cheap and almost completely inert. It doesn't even sustain a flame. I want to save my half-eaten apple for eating later, much later. So I'm going to try and preserve it in this jar. In it goes. I'll put in a whole load of my inert nitrogen. But nitrogen alone is not ideal. An apple's a living thing. It needs a little bit of oxygen just to survive. Now you've got to be careful. Too much oxygen in there and it speeds up the aging process of the apple and could give the bugs a field day. In you go. Around about 5% is reckoned to be ideal. Problem is, with that oxygen there now, the bugs also have something to live on. So by adding more than 100 times the normal atmospheric quantity of carbon dioxide, it keeps those bugs at bay. 5% of that as well. So now I'm going to take it home. It can live a life alongside me, and in a few days' time I'll crack it open and see if it still tastes and looks just as good. I'm going to open up my apple now and see how it tastes. Actually, smells quite fruity, which may be a good thing for an apple. Feels quite firm still. Smells quite appley. To my absolute amazement, 5 days later, that's remarkably edible. Vitamin C, ascorbic acid for stopping it going brown, and a modified atmosphere for preserving it. It genuinely seems to work.